Hello everybody, welcome to another exciting list video. Today we're going to be talking about 3 Scarlet Keys cards that we are each the most excited about. Scarlet Keys cards has come out. People are playing with it. That's so sick. And we have talked about the cards a bunch, but we haven't played with them yet. So this is actually we haven't played with any of these cards that we're most excited about. Let's see if we're still excited about them this time next year. Bryn, what is the first card you are excited about? Hey, that's us.
Yeah.
We got one in the chamber. This card just looks sweet. For 1 money, you get to add a bullet to a gun, and then you get to kill a guy. Because he thought you didn't have... He's like, I counted 8 shots, and you're like, well, that's 9, because, I have 1 in the...
You're like, I only count 8 shots. You're like loading your gun.
Yeah.
No, I think this card's really cool. It's a fortune, so you can't play it in Rex. Sorry, gun Rex.
No, the Bryn's Madhouse deck we've been workshopping for the last 2 years. It's done.
And it's a tactic, so you can play it in Mark twice. Which is pretty cool, I guess. This card is also probably really, really strong with the gun that pays you for spending its bullets. The Tommy gun.
Yeah.
Thompson. Where you're like, not only is this free, but also you are dead.
That does seem sick. You did say that was your next thing you were planning on building.
Probably. I'll turn into a tree and drop it for sure.
Yes, but that's okay. That happens.
We'll roll the weaknesses together, but we're gonna take that out for.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm gonna re-roll until I get it.
You can't. You only want to roll.
Yeah.
No.
I think what I like about this card too is it's just really efficient, but only in the decks that want it, which is really nice.
Yeah. No, it's a really well-designed card, I think.
If this did something that was vaguely generic, it would probably be pushed, but it doesn't. And if you don't have good firearms, come on.
Yeah. I also, obviously the flavor with the shotgun's also sick. Just get the super shotgun. This is the magic bullet. Just jamming it in there.
Yeah. They're like, he's out of bullets, and you're like, nails and crushed glass. Whatever we got.
Yeah.
Put it in the gun.
I got Ghastly Possession for one of the cards I'm excited about, which seems strange for Justin to be excited about a Mystic card. But
it's an innate skill.
It's an innate skill.
That's not.
Travis figured out the mystery. It's an innate skill.
A spell, so you can find it with your Arcane Initiative.
That's kind of sick, actually.
Yeah. this card, I'm excited to play this card in Silas Marsh and refill a chainsaw. Because half of a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Because that seems kind of fun. It's also obviously nice because you don't have to you never with it with Silas, so this is basically just an extra ammo for your chainsaw. And I haven't played Chainsaw Silas, so whenever I have the chance to play it again, I'm very excited for that. I think this card obviously is also I'm super high on Brand of Cthugha and Divination and Earthly Serenity, and just getting 4 extra bullets, 4 extra shots with a Brand of Cthugha is also pretty sick. But I'm excited about this for specifically the chainsaw. I want to.
That does seem sick.
It's gonna be fun.
It's a ghost of my chainsaw.
What do you got, Travis?
This is the old Keyring level 3. So there's multiple reasons that I have this here. One of which is it gets you extra clues, which is always something that I'm a fan of. The other one is I like seeing them. I like when they print cards for sort of. I actually really enjoy building decks for survivors because they keep printing these archetypes that they don't support ever again, and they just abandon them. I actually like finding all the different ways that they fit together, and you can kind of make them cards from those different archetypes work. Also, I am happy about this card because perhaps it will finally push them into changing scavenging.
Yes.
And realizing that infinite recursion is not good for game's health.
Well, it's not infinite. You have to pass a skill test, which is impossible to do in any red investigator who exists.
Yeah, you have to pass an investigator skill test.
By 2. Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah, because that's actually the thing with scavenging. Before you're Wendy, so you get to work for it. Right?
Yeah, you're I have 3 book, or you're Duke, and you're I have 4 book.
Yeah, 4 book twice and cost cards, right?
Yeah, and you're just doing your. You can't play other cards that boost it up.
Yeah, and then you get
now what you got Rita, you got Silas, we got Yorick. Neither of them investigate particularly well.
Yeah. And then like in the splash red, there's Min. She's probably the best user of it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And even then, she only has 4. You have to commit cards for it. But then we get to now, like, I think the first person that really, like, I think started to really kind of break it was Bob. Like, because he gets crazy good items. To the point where he's not even, like, trying to use them fully.
Yeah, we did, like, a very narrow window where Min got to play with this and the Necronomicon before Bob came out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But,
and then we have Daryl coming out, which is going to be, like, he's just gets scavenges every turn. That's, like, his additional rules text. Yeah,
kind of.
I just really hope that this Ghastly Possession is a plant for a mystic gunslinger.
Honestly, I definitely see it coming.
Like,
that'd be cool.
Like maybe not next cycle, because next cycle is probably Gloria, but like
Gloria never actually comes.
Honestly, she shouldn't. She shouldn't get support. Can you imagine Gloria with support?
I do hope that we get her as like a 6th investigator. So like we got Mary Lumbeau, where she's just printed, and then she doesn't actually get like proper support. She just gets instant support.
She doesn't need it.
No,
she does not.
Like maybe like an upgraded Alyssa Graham, just like just to give her something to spend experience on.
Yeah, like implicit support, something like for the actual investigator that cycle, but that she could use, but it's not for her.
Yeah, because like I could definitely see them doing next cycle is probably going to be traditional mystic, and then the cycle after that, because they have now Seas Planet as well for like. No using your spell slots, right? And I feel like we're going to see that evolution in Mystics
maybe
down the road.
Maybe also we get like another proper purple investigator who cares about the top card of your deck.
Yeah, definitely.
Sort of like Norman, and then like we get cards like Alyssa that let you look at them.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get another token one too, like to come out. Like even though like we talk about how Mystics are boring, they actually are like the investigators are really cool. And like,
it's their card pool that's boring.
Yeah, but as they get more stuff like this, like I think this...
It's the inverse of Yellow Investigators.
This Scarlet Keys is like so... I think it was so good for the Mystic class. Even though we're not like excited for any of the cards because they're kind of just like Mystic cards, but they're like... They're different than other Mystic cards.
Yeah, they're working on like introducing actual other archetypes.
Yeah, which is really nice.
Yeah. I'm just excited to commit this to a skill test on a firearm. And be like, ghost bullets.
Yeah, like I think
you
that
can do that, right?
They can.
Yeah.
But I don't. I think that they need to kind of rein in scavenging a little bit because it does sort of, in a similar way to a lot of the cards that I complain about, it takes something that's supposed to be a cost and then makes that, or there's like, it's constrained by limited uses and makes the limited uses not matter.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. This is you can commit it to someone else's, so we can reload your guns for you. That's kind of sick too. Yeah.
Then I'll turn into a trade and drop.
Brandon, stop dropping the gun. That seems good with the Thompson. Just get 3 bullets.
If you stop saying it.
Yeah.
Look.
All right.
I'm just hoping by repetition I'll become less afraid of it. That's all.
Number 2, Brand. What do you got?
This is only my favorite because it's got Chuck Fergus in the art.
And yet Chuck Fergus is not here.
Yeah, but I've already been hyped to play
It's true.
Chuck Fergus.
But
No,
he's
they're
in
just making it easier, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. One of my favorite cards is Sleight of Hand,
Mm-hmm.
and this is just Sleight of Man.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. I am also excited that for the first time in this game's history, a yellow card that is broken with a green card is the card that is being penalized.
I mean, this card should be penalized because it's the enabler.
No. It's not an enabler.
Alright, well, I already talked about this off camera before we started this video, but I will do it again on camera.
Also completely unrelated.
I think that Hit and Run is a problematic card to print because it puts a hard cap, or like a hard design cap on what investigators can
They'll
do.
just taboo it to do something different.
Like, good, but then why print it like this in the first place?
Because it's tradition. It's how it has to be done. Green cards need to be printed in a way that breaks a different faction's cards, and then eventually tabooed into
it's
doing
not
practically
about
nothing.
it breaking a different faction's cards. It's about like putting a design cap on cards with or allies with comes up play effects in general.
Yeah, but that's like a different faction's cards. That's like the future faction, not.
It could be a green card. Like they all. Okay, it doesn't.
Yeah, but green and future cards are different colors.
Do you know what I would love to see on either
take green out of the game?
I mean, like maybe.
What I would love to see on the taboo list, in like either on the taboo list or actually even in design is like restrictions where it's like can't play this with this class, this card,
Yeah.
right? And just like then it's just like that class can then just keep doing their thing, like because then like Hit and Run could have like Jeremiah Kirby could have said just like not for a secret class.
I think for a while, Sleight of Hand was tabooed to like green asset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And I realized
I just like the idea of playing this card and like sleight of handing in like a cat and then just throwing it at someone.
It is kind of wild, like the difference between like because this card in like Lord of the Rings the card game is pretty soft. Like Gandalf's good.
Like yeah, it's soft, but it's soft because Gandalf is like the original hard lad. So
Yeah, and like, but it's kind of just crazy. Like
shows up and,
the
like,
difference, like that this
beats the
game
snot
has
out
with
of
the
the
same
game.
card in its power level, right? It's kind of wild. It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like, but Gandalf is like intended to only be played for our turn.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
no.
Well, I think that one also no
Only
because
sort of.
you sneak attack them back. Yeah, because they can come back to your hand after. It's the same
Yeah.
thing.
It is like actually the same card pretty much, except that one's not fast because there is no action
That's true. Yeah,
economy.
it's wild. No, because I am like I liked Jeremiah Kirby. Like I thought he was good, but you have to like build your deck around him to be like great.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, but I mean, like now they have to impose some kind of like they have to make all the allies that they print going forward have either worse effects coming into play, or they need to like have some other higher cost to get value out of this and just resource costs and taking up your ally slot because with Hit and Run it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
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 Sure. That's what you say now.
I'm gonna say it the next time that they taboo it.
I am. We should start a pool between us to see.
How long it takes Hit and Run to get
Yeah.
changed.
Yeah,
That'd be
that
actually
is
kinda
also
fun.
something that I'm excited for. Is
Or how many changes it's
Yeah.
gonna have
yeah, like
in like
See, I
4
think-
years. How many changes in 4 years?
See if they go straight to the sleight of hand thing, or they kind of work their way there indirectly again.
Yeah, because it's like one of those things where like it can't be like because like sleight. What is sleight of hand now?
it's currently level 3 or less,
Okay.
but otherwise the same.
Because like the thing is with that is that like allies are good. Like the thing is allies are meant to be played and then die, right? Like they're not meant to be played multiple times. Like we have the exception of that with like calling in favor, right?
Yeah.
Which is
Even that one,
Probably
you have
really
to.
good with this.
yep.
Because
Yeah.
you get to like sleight of man in your dude, do their thing, and then pick them up and make another dude cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's stupid. That's really good.
Yeah, that's sick. Because like slight like calling in favors is a good card, but it mostly it's just like comes into the thing where it's like I have a million allies in my deck. I'm gonna call in favors, right? Like
Yeah.
Charlie's gonna play call in favors, right? Because it's just free value.
I mean, like
baby.
you can
like,
choose
probably.
not to, but you shouldn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like the difference to that one and this one's like I'm going to abuse the entrance trigger of my allies.
It's only fair things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I believe you when you say that. Like I believe you to the ends of the earth when you say that.
Yeah, like there is kind of a difference between sort of like what happened with Double or Nothing, where like you're probably not playing this card to do fair things with it,
Yeah.
right? Like if you're playing
What
to
do
do
you
fair
mean?
things
I'm
with
just
it,
gonna sleight of hand in my Leo
You
and take one
probably-
extra action.
you're better off just playing the calling in favors.
Pick him up.
Yeah, because I remember when I was watching our first our Dunwich playthrough from our first playthrough, and Bryn just double or nothing on an attack, and it was just he dealt 4 damage.
Yeah, that's
and I was
fine.
like, whoa, that's sick. But it was just so weird seeing that card just like played normally.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but now you can't ever again. Yeah, no, I am just gonna play this and sleight of man in a Gandalf and reduce the threat by 5, and then calling in favors my Gandalf into another Gandalf, and see how long it takes Travis to strike me.
You should do a playthrough where we get to play without any kinds of taboo,
Yeah.
and you can just like no deck building restrictions and see what we can come up with.
Oh, just build. Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
can just play Mandy with like whatever cards you want
Yeah.
or whatever.
Cause I just bring a Silas deck.
I mean, that's really good, probably.
Well, yeah, just get like all the skills I want to play. Yeah.
Amanda with any skills you want.
Yeah, no,
double or
I'm
nothing?
curious to see. Like, I'm very sad about the Jeremiah Kirby taboo change because we play with the taboo list on the channel, because that's what people expect us to play with.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? we'll see what happens as this happens, and we'll see what Sleight of Man does. I've upgraded baseball bat here for mine. I'm just excited to have, even though I just said I was very excited for Chainsaw Silas, I am also very excited for just baseball bat Silas. Baseball bat's a very good card, right? Like, it's a very good card. And then just the dealing additional damage is, like, when it breaks, or putting it into your hand, but you also could just deal, like, 3 damage, right?
Oh, what about Mind's Eye baseball bat Patrice?
That seems like really
with
good
like
time.
purple cards to avoid the skull and the.
That seems
the
fun.
tentacle.
That seems fun. But with Silas, I like this idea in my head where it's just like you just like have like you just like pull out like gun, shoot, swing the baseball bat breaks. You know, oh, here's my harpoon. Like just slipping between items, and like it's fun to have more survivor weapons. I also really enjoy playing Daniela, and she's gonna love the fuck out of this card.
Yeah, playing this in York's probably gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh
where
my
you just,
God,
like,
yeah.
show up and they're like, "What are you gonna do now, Mr. Yorick? You broke your baseball bat," and you're like, "I got another one."
Yeah, they're like, oh,
And they're
shit.
like, "Oh, that's not great." And then you break that, and they're like, "You broke both your bats.
Yeah.
You haven't got any more." And you're like, pulling one out, and you're like, "What?"
Yeah, I do really like seeing just like ordinary items used as weapons in the
Yes.
survivor
Yeah.
class. That's one of my favorite
Yeah.
things about like sort of the class identity they have.
Yeah, definitely.
I am also excited for Justin to attack an enemy that Travis is engaged with this. Draw the red token and be like, extra damage.
That would be pretty funny, wouldn't it? That would be pretty good. I would never, Travis. I would never. But if I drew a skull, I would.
You might if
Yeah, you're safe on the
Oh,
autofail.
okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a great upgrade. I mean, just like it, because I recently played it when we did our. I mean, by recently, I mean I think it was like almost a year and a half ago now. Was when we did our blind Innsmouth run, and I had my Silas deck just as like another weapon because I was the goon and I needed weapons. And I was like, this card's actually pretty great. Like it +2 and +1 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only limitation is that it breaks, but now it doesn't even break. You're just like, just kidding. I'm just gonna put it over here for a few
You gotta
seconds.
pay for it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and take an attack of opportunity
Yes.
Yeah.
if you're engaged with enemies. Which
Unless
is,
you failed, or unless you succeeded off
Yeah.
like the skull.
Or if like you're also just a survivor and you're just like, I'm gonna evade you because I'm a survivor, or
Yeah.
I'm just gonna kill you with like this brute force. Man, survivors are fun.
They punch you so hard you explode.
Yeah. Travis.
That's a motivational speech. I am always happy to see additional economy options for Guardians because I play Guardian probably the most out of our group, or have because you guys just play the other your 2 classes and then I just pick from the rest. Man, am I retired playing Emergency Cash and Stand together. Like, I'm happy to have anything else to fill one of those slots. There's a lot. I think there's a lot of neat stuff going on with the design of this card, where it's a parlay actions you can play if you're engaged with an enemy, and you can have someone else play their ally. And it's just an economy card where it makes it cheaper. I think there's a lot of niche situations where you're gonna be like, hey, this is like really good here. I like those kinds of cards.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, cats, dogs, creatures, other assorted creatures, lend me your ears.
Yeah.
You know they don't vote, right, Mr. King?
Yeah. he's like, I had a great rally today. All the dogs in Arkham were there, and they were all like, whoa, 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 whoa. And they're like, and then Bonnie's like, Charlie, you know they don't vote, right? And he's like, no, Charlie, you goofed it. You fucking goofed it, Charlie.
Why did we spend $500 on milk bones for the campaign rally?
It's like, we never approved that.
You just did it.
Oh man, we're gonna have
never
fun.
asked anyone about what you should do with this.
We're gonna do a run, right, where we each play Charlie and bring different colors.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
You did like the mecha rolling video?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just excited to try to convince somebody that they should play it on me, and then be like, yeah, no allies in head.
Get fucked. All right. Our most excited cards. Bran, I forgot what yours was. Oh yeah, this card. This card's great.
Yeah, no, it is kind of great. Like limit 1 for Investigator, and that's how you know it's going to be good. You have to exhaust it because it's green. But while you're attacking, parlaying, or attempting to evade an exhausted enemy, you get +2 skill value. This suddenly means that almost every green character can be a fighter. Except Preston, because he wouldn't glass somebody in a bar.
No.
Because he would pay someone to do that.
He only fences.
Yeah, he would show up and be like, I say, that man said that my mother smelled of elderberries. Joey, go glass it for me.
Do you imagine if it didn't exhaust for the second ability, and you were like,
Yeah.
you just play kind distraction, you just or whatever, you're like,
Yeah, that is true. It is, admittedly, it does have to exhaust, to be fair. But if it were yellow, it wouldn't.
It's true.
Yeah.
if it were yellow, it wouldn't do a lot of these things.
If it was yellow, you'd be like, why am I playing this card?
Because you're playing it in Monterey Jack and fighting with his, one punch?
Monterey Jack can't play it.
Honestly, so this
Yeah,
is
but if it were yellow.
Yeah.
this
If
is
it
a
were
tangent.
yellow.
So I was playing some patrons, and they were like, "I'm gonna bring a combat Monterey Jack deck," and I was like, "Oh, okay." It was fucking sick.
I believe it.
Yeah, it
Yellow
was,
has good combat
and
options.
he also just
green.
gets the bow and also the
Yeah.
green cards. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was a sick. I want to try building it for myself. What I like about Dirty Fighting is that they too saw 25 automatic and said, "Dude, we fucking like this,"
Yeah.
Yeah.
and just were like, "Let's do more of that."
Yeah, I also like the you get better at parlaying with them, where you're like, yeah, man, you see how I kicked your kneecap?
Yeah.
I'll do it again. Or you can leave, and the ghost is like, okay.
You're attempting to evade an exhausted enemy is strictly there for commanding, right?
Yes, but also that unspeakable oath cowardice.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
But that's as far as I know from my limited knowledge of what I remember about this set.
Yeah.
And is it while attacking an exhausted enemy, parlaying an exhausted enemy, or attempting to evade an exhausted enemy, or is it while attacking, parlaying, or attempting to evade an exhausted enemy?
It's the one where it's only when you attack an exhausted enemy you get +2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also appreciate that they ignore the aloof keyword for this attack. That's also nice to
Yeah,
You
put
can
that
do
on there. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, it's that's the kind of stuff that I want more of from the
Yeah.
cards to say what they do.
I think we all want that, Justin.
You know?
Yeah.
It's a trick, so you can play it in Rita.
Yes, honestly, and
It's
not
pretty
Yeah,
real.
sure, man.
That is pretty real.
It's real, but
Yeah, she has 3 punch. She can play meat cleaver and baseball bat.
yeah, she
Yeah, they
evades the
stapled
enemy.
trick on there just for that, huh?
She deals
maybe.
the damage, and then she gets to actually attack at 5. You know.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
attacking at 5, not counting a weapon.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's illicit too, so you can put it in your underworld market, or you can if you're playing Finn, you have an easy way to fish it out.
Yep. Oh yeah. Finn got such a big boost from this. And as I said last week, there's just a lot of
You're
cool
even
builds you
allowed
can
to play it in Finn.
And
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about that because Finn's a normal green investigator that can play red cards because Preston's but Finn has so many cool builds, and I think this really just opens up that flex fighting Finn. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah, well, it does make me salty every time I see a neat green red card. I'm like, oh, I can build a deck around these. I'm like, who can I play these? Oh, right, it's Preston.
You know what this is 1,000 times cooler than, though? Sharpshooting.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot
Yeah.
cooler
Make-
than sharpshooting.
Hashtag make sharpshooting a permanent.
Yeah, it'll come.
Actually,
It'll come.
You'll
please,
get
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, now that you
That'd be
got
really
your
cool.
Chuck Fergus, you gotta go on that
Yeah.
one.
Oh, I got all kinds of green cards I could complain about.
On Taboo, double or not.
I understand why it's tabooed because it doesn't work.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do that would make it fair.
Play with Justify the Means. And that's the other thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to put so many curse tokens into the bag.
So? If you have to make a test, just Justify the Means.
Yeah, because if you know what, you're gonna come in gonna do the test, and you're like,
Someone else's
I
property.
gotta do this, I gotta.
Yeah.
And then the person playing with us, don't worry, I have Flute of the Outer Gods. Pay 10, put them all on the Flute of the Outer Gods. And it's like, yay!
Free.
Yeah, I mean, like, some kids double or nothing to a test, and they're like, I'm gonna kill this 10 health enemy with this attack, and you're like, yeah, but I have to commit, or I have to justify the means for it.
Yeah,
Is anyone gonna really complain?
You show up and you're like, this is a shotgun attack with a vicious blow committed to it. See you later, or more die.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's like how many curse tokens you want to put in the bag to get like 6 clues or whatever?
None.
Because it's...
I do it for 1.
Yeah, Promise Power kind of does that sometimes.
I mean, you would be pretty...
Yeah.
I'd be pretty
I
easily
understand
convinced
that
to do
there's,
10.
I would
there's
like...
no way to make that fair.
I'd like cheat and put more than 10 in.
Yeah.
And like, unless you added, like, you'd have to radically change its text to, like, I don't know, maybe if you draw a symbol token on this test, treat it as an auto fail.
Yeah, I'd always draw that.
Or something like that to make it, like, actually have a cost, as opposed to just, like, I need to commit overpower in another card.
Yeah.
For double or nothing?
Yeah.
No, like, even... So, the broken thing about it is when you just don't make the test, right?
Yeah.
Like, that would
Sure.
further pigeonhole it into the realm of, like, you don't use this for its intended thing, you're only doing it when you're just gonna pass the test, like, without... You're just gonna ignore the game and get twice the value you're supposed to.
I fail to see how that's a problem.
How much experience was it?
2.
Oh, no, it's 0.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it was 0,
Zero,
like,
but-
initially printed. and then
It's
they-
right here. Man,
They
that sucked to
tabooed it to
never
level 0.
leave the binder.
And then, you just...
Resolve the
no.
effects of the
I
successful
should
test.
I should make a
twice.
buyer page of, like, cards that I'm never gonna put in a deck. I mean, double or nothing is banned.
Just get like an
Maybe
actual
fairy
like
tales.
like a beautiful like a pretty little like
Yeah.
special
See
binder
if you
for it.
can't
And be
get
like,
enough of them to lacquer a table.
yeah. Poor double or nothing, man. It's just too good.
Make it or like make playing cards or whatever. 500 deductions, please. Like, but why?
The card I'm most excited about is Daryl Simmons. We just recorded the new player guide for Daryl, and even beyond the fact that he's like freaking broken, like he's so like busted strong. I've wanted Daryl for a while because he was on Sharp Vision. I'm like, I know that guy. That's Daryl Simmons. His Hawkeye folding camera. I was like, oh, I know Daryl's probably gonna get these. I was like, this is gonna be Daryl. He's gonna be the 0502 Survivor Secret that I've wanted, and he's here. And I'm just really excited for the guy. Yeah.
I'm excited for you.
I want to like not do the obvious like don't want to do like the scavenging stuff. I want to but the problem is like he's just so good. Like you do the 0 shroud thing and he's going to be like really strong.
Yep.
You do the place clues on location things. He's going to be really strong. You do scavenging, he's going to be so freaking strong.
Yep.
You do Book V Shroud with just good skills, he's gonna be so freaking strong.
Yep.
Like, it's one of those things that, like, any archetype that I can think of that's not just, like, you know, like, actually intending to bomb it, it's gonna be really strong.
Yeah, he's got like they just like half pushed every aspect of him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, and like you said, like, he effectively has 4, 7, 4, 5 for his stat line, right? Like, I would have, like, I think... I'm happy to see a 5 book outside of yellow for the first time, right? Mm-hmm. I think his ability is a bit good in addition to that. But I think that he could have gotten by with, like, a lower stat line to make up for it. Like, I think if you kept the 5 book, I think that would have been fine.
To, like, Patrice.
Yeah. Like, I think the 5 book could stay, right? Because that's his thing. And I think the foot also is nice to keep that there, but he could have had 1s in his other stats, and I think he still would have been really good.
Yeah, like, I think they designed him with the idea that you weren't going to be able to use his ability every turn, but they put so many ways to get the evidence in the set. It's just... And, like, his camera is also very easy to get them, I think.
Yeah, but, like, what do you think? People would just include cards that use evidence as gas and then not use them for their intended purpose?
Yes. I would do that.
Oh.
And I mean like realistically too, his ability is good, but I think even if you don't use it and you just take advantage of the evidence because you don't need to use it, it's still going to be really good.
Well, yeah, that's the other side of this. That's also partially why it's so strong, is because the evidence does things inherently.
Yep.
Like, if you don't need the stat boost because maybe you've played 2 cards, you're rolling around with 7 book, and that's your life, and you have, like, Forewarned, because why would you care about the Mythos deck, and you just have one of those in your hand? You can use the evidence for, like, the things that they're supposed to be used for.
Yeah. I'm very excited to play with Daryl. He looks like he has angel wings, my little angel, come to see me.
It's him on his way to Taboo list.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they could taboo it to -1 instead of -2. I think that'd be a good place to start.
Taboo's camera take up hand slots.
I mean, yeah, I think that the camera also could have taken up, like, I think the accessory slot would be a good thing.
Yeah, that'd be fair.
Because, like, even, like, in back in the day, like, that's a huge fucking camera to not take up hand slots. But, like, I could see that it's, like, you know, strapped to him and he, like, picks it up to take a picture. Because, like, the hand slot, like, it's a very important slot. And to lose 2,
They
but I think, like, it should have done
they
something.
could have taken, like, a different sort of route with it where, like, you can, like, have a tool belt effect where you can put it in your accessory slot, have it take up the accessory slot, and while it does, it doesn't take up any hand slots, and then it gets an evidence whenever you, like, get a clue by 2 or more.
Yeah.
So you can, like, just wear it around your neck and use your hand slots for other things if you want to, but then you can still use the evidence while it's around your neck, because it's there. But also you can't, like, take pictures of stuff without having to occupy your hand slots.
Whoa. Slow down there, astute Dunspars.
The thing's already got, like, 10 lines of text. I don't think this is much more of a... It would require, like, instead of its current effect.
I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I just mean that, like, sometimes custom cards are overly complex.
Yes, but do you, really?
What?
Not mean in a derogatory
No.
way?
No, I like looking at people's custom stuff. Just sometimes when I'm, like, you know, it's been 5 minutes and I'm still reading the card. That's a little tough.
Yeah, there's a lot of reading
That's
for
all.
Daryl. Like, when you get to it, too. Like, I think just, yeah, it's just... Obviously, like, I don't think we're going to be wrong that he's really strong. Like, maybe he's less strong than we think. I just don't think so. The cards are so freaking good. And, like, he has 5 book. Because I remember, like, when he was first spoiled, there was a lot of discussion in our discourse where people were like, is there going to be enough evidence to take advantage of his ability? And then I was like, yo, he has 5 book. If he doesn't have evidence, he's just going to win the game, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's just going to, like, get through it. And now it's just, like, gravy on top of it.
No, that is a pretty fair point. When you got 5 in your do thing stat,
Yeah.
it's tough to not be good at something.
Yeah.
Unless it's foot.
False.
Poor Rita.
Yeah.
I mean, Rita's great. I actually really like Rita now. She's very fun to play. She's a good time.
Yeah, she got a new baseball bat.
She got a new baseball
pretty
bat.
She got dirty fighting.
Honestly, she got dirty fighting's gonna be sick. She got sweeping kick,
excited,
which is still like such a just it's so cool.
Excited
Travis.
to glass some hoods.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God, yes. What do you got?
That's pretty good. I got Vincent Lee. This is the Investigator. And initially I was, like, pretty soft on the Investigators in general because some of them really fit traditional roles except for Daryl. But the more I looked at, like, the cards that Vincent can actually play and the way some of his cards interact, the more excited I am to play him. He's got very cool deck building. As you know, I'm a big fan of Carolyn and her deck building. And Vincent's got, like, this really nice sort of deck building tree where he's a roundabout seeker fighter. So as long as you can have an on the mend, you're going to have effectively 5 punch for at least 1 attack turn. Which is, like, this is the number you want. It's good. And he's got his Bone Saw, which is a way to, not just a weapon, but also a way to consistently have you take damage to get your on the mends because you can heal them.
Yeah.
And then being in yellow and having access to blue cards gives him lots of options to find those cards. It's Tetsuo Mori, you can play Backpack if you want, you can play Prepared for the Worst. Yellow's got all kinds of search cards you can play. So you can use that as kind of like an engine to consistently have the 5 punch when you need it. And then you get a nice little practice makes perfect package where you get to play Vicious Blow and Overpower and Stunning Blow and like whatever other blue practice skill you're going to play in that slot is. Probably take the initiative, but it could be something different. Yeah, like I just think his deck building's got like a lot of really, and you could like just build him as a support too. I like building Carolyn. I think that he is going to be a fun Vesker to build as well.
Yeah. He has a
But Jessica Hyde to keep the burnt
on them.
Yeah, and then you can use like the blue events like that make you take damage to get more damage on you.
Yeah.
For value, like Blood Eclipse level 1.
Yeah.
Like self-sacrificing cards.
There was a survivor, and then even just like also because he can do these guys are the Carolyn is events and skills, right? No, it's assets. No, it's just color. It's just color.
It's 0 to 1.
Yeah. Because like even just like because in the early game you can probably upgrade out of it in the future once you get better cards in. But even just for more consistency in fighting, he can play Luckies too, which is like just like a way to like also just actually it's like an overpower, so to speak, for your fighting to help at level 0. I think he's like a very good flex investigator, but I think he also can be a very good just like key fighter.
Yeah.
Who just also investigates when there's downtime, which I suppose like is a flex, but like not really, right?
Mm-hmm. Like one of the biggest complaints I had about Carolyn, and probably the only real complaint about Carolyn, is quite often when I was building her decks, I found it sometimes tough to fill up my deck with Guardian cards because so many of them are monster fighting centric or like weapon centric, both things that she doesn't really do. But Vincent Lee, I just can fill my deck with yellow cards.
Yeah.
So that's easy.
Yellow cards suck.
I also the surgical kit or whatever it is, the one that the surgical kit was the one that we spoiled.
Yeah.
The reverse Hawkeye folding camera.
Yeah.
That one.
So like a dissection kit?
Yeah, dissection kit. Yeah. That's also seems kind of sick.
It is kind of neat, yeah.
He has a great stat line too. Like
He does.
I would love it if he had 3-3-4-1, but like you said, I think the 3's still fine because he can make it work.
I actually like this stat line more, I think, because it makes you work a little bit to use the punch instead of just being like, check it out, I got some blue, I got machete, I fight at 5 or whatever.
Just give him 1 invoke and 5 in punch, and whenever he searches the top cards of his deck, maybe he can get some more cards.
And the 4 book lets him get like really solid value. This is another investigator who can actually use cards like Scientific Theory or whatever, the Composure.
Yep.
He can use that well. He can play Michael Lee really well. Mm-hmm. He can investigate with your 4 book, and then it's going to be 5 with Michael Lee. There's a lot of neat cards that are just... you can use Expose Weakness with him.
You can use Expose Weakness and then Exploit Weakness.
This is Exploit Weakness, yeah, that's one.
Yeah, you can do Expose Weakness, then Exploit it. Oh!
Expose Weakness might have a home, Justin.
Yeah, no, it definitely would. I think in that specific combination. But like, I think he's great. And to echo, like, to go against like my previous thoughts of like switching the book and the fist, you're right that this does make it so that you want to actively fish out your on the mends, right? To actually, boost your fist.
Yeah, I think they did an excellent job designing him.
I just like the idea of playing him with Michael Lee, and you're like, Michael Lee, what's wrong with that man? And he's like, I'm a detective, and he's like, some detective you are.
Well, it looks
Can't
like
even tell me what's wrong with that guy.
You sawed his arm off. Right, you are.
I had to guess. Botched surgery?
He's just skulking around out. Yeah. This man looks like he's been hacked to pieces by a hacksaw, and Vincent Lee's like got blood all over him. He's like, yeah.
I wonder how that happened.
Mix myself a bit.
I think he also has a very fun weakness as well. The Wounded Bystander.
Yeah, it's really unique, and you don't see that.
Because his ability, is it also when it heals just a card that someone controls? Or is it specifically an investigator? Let me pull it up.
I rarely read the cards even when I play them.
Yeah, I just look at them and I'm like, I know what this does.
Yeah, damage from an investigator and investigator's ally asset. So then that itself feeds into providing him with more on the mend.
So good with Jessica Hyde.
Oh, very good with Jessica Hyde, yeah. It's just you play her and like, I'm going to get 2 unexpected courages.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, no, those are...
She's holding the enemy down, he's sawing him, and like the saw just like slips a bit and nicks her, and you're like, oh, my bad.
Yeah. Whoopsie doodle. I also am looking forward to the first time. It's going to be you because you're going to probably play him first, but when you're like, all right, come on over, I'm going to do a bone saw test on you. Which I actually think that if, like, when like, especially like going into like Dunwich, Carcosa, like basically anything but the Forgotten Age, be like, all right, we're going to get trauma because I want you to have damage on turn 1, right? So like then it's like a reason, like Vincent Lee's going to take in the thick of it because he also wants trauma on turn 1, right? So like now that's to me what I like more about within the thick of it. It's not just like I'm going to get 3 experience. It's taking advantage of that penalty and turning it into a positive, right?
That's always a very fun way to approach deck building.
Yeah.
Big fan of that.
So, yeah, no. Do you know who you're playing first yet?
I'm going to Sovereign for Trauma first.
That's fair. Because we're looking at... So, it's going to be different. So it's like a dirty fighting.
It probably doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right?
You should do...
Carson Sinclair. Can I fetch the camera, sir?
Yeah, please, Carson, can I have another extra to investigate? Why, yes, of course.
My surgical assistant.
No, you may not practice removing a kidney on me. It's not listed in the contract.
How do you feel about Carson? How do you think he's gonna be? Now that we've seen everything.
What?
I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be like overall not fun to play optimally.
Yeah.
But I think that like power level he's pretty okay.
Yeah. That's fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah. I think he'll be like pretty middle of the pack in terms of power level. I haven't looked too closely at his card pool and stuff like that, the sort of stuff he can do. So my opinion might change a little bit on that, but I think that he is going to lend himself to like a fairly boring play style in general, where you're not really good at things, so your optimal turns are going to just be like giving your actions to other people.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I because I feel like I think now, especially with like the majority of the cards and also some of the taboo lists to help Lola out, there's like no investigator that's like every investigator can use the card pool to their advantage, and like there's good cards in every class now that he can just like use to just get clues, right? I just think it's going to be such a conflict for his deck where you have to build like support, do something, but also stay alive because he has 2s and low stats. Like if he had 4 brain, he would have a bit more juice. Yeah. And I'm just curious to see like how that evolves because I think, like you said, he's going to be fine from a power level, but I think he's going to be very conflicted into what his deck is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now don't tell either of the other two, but I do intend to play Carson Sinclair, and I'm going to try and give someone a shotgun with teamwork.
Bro, we already did that.
Yeah. But this time it'll be funnier, which you're not listening to, because Travis will be playing Vincent Lee, and it'll be like, "Have you attempted a more radical surgery, sir?"
That does sound pretty sick.
That does sound very good.
And that'll be funny.
Yeah.
Is it going to be good? No.
Probably
not.
I can see Carson Sinclair being the investigator that each of us play once, and then we're like, "I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good." Yeah, until like maybe he gets something that gives him a bit more than just.
I mean, that's like most investigators for me.
Yeah.
Like I have honestly not played most of them twice.
Yeah.
There's like a handful that I've played many times, but most of them I play once. So
yeah,
okay.
I'll play Will Yorick every chance I get. I'll probably never play Wendy Adams again.
Yeah. Do you know what I should do? I should go through all of our games, all of our campaigns, see who we play, and then we can do a discussion video about them, and like where we're like, this is why I like this person. This is why, like, and see the people you've never played.
Mark 5 times and Wendy 4 times.
Yeah,
and
I
Carolyn
like winning.
6 and every other investigator once.
Except Skids.
Yeah.
I played Skid once with you. Not on camera.
Yeah, but like you have no evidence.
Do you know who has evidence? I'm pointing at Daryl, chat. I'm pointing at Daryl. Daryl has evidence. We kind of got away from the list video. We were just doing that. I know YouTube's gonna love that, but
we're highly professional.
Yeah.
Hey, we're here to entertain. We entertain.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing I want to do is to like have our videos be like edited, opening. I like the rambling. I like the making mistakes. It's more fun.
Yeah.
And also because it means I have to try less. And there's one thing I hate doing, it's trying. That's why I've never played Try again, except for that one time, because I was like, I need to try when I play this card.
Well, I mean, that's the trick. You don't.
Yeah,
you just pass the test. You just pass the test and it doesn't do anything.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, good. I spent action. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments what your favorite and most excited cards you are for Scarlet Keys.
Justin forgets what video we were recording.
And also, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone on the last week's list video, our Survivor Most and Least Favorite Assets. We got so many great list video suggestions from all of you. So you can keep them coming, but I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Have a good one, and as always, GG's.